Hi, welcome. I'm Tiffany. Thanks so much for watching today's video. This video today is going to be a little bit different. It is me really stepping outside of my comfort zone and sharing something with you that is really personal. It is my story of when I was just let go a few short months ago. Now, as you all know, the pandemic has affected a lot of us. It's affected a lot of jobs. It's affected a lot of companies, and companies are having to make decisions to best suit their needs. And that's understandable. But I've never been open about my journey in my industry, which I have now been let go a total of 4 times. Not even joking. But every time I have taken something from it and I have learned in that experience. And so today I just want to share my story with you to let you know if you have been affected, if you have been laid off, I understand. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you're inspired, you're motivated, and that you take something away from it that you can implement or you can think about today. Because as you all know, when you're working for somebody else, you really don't have any sort of control over that. It's only when you step into your own purpose, whatever that may look like for you, and you make the decision of like, you know what? I think I'm going to be all right. I think I'm going to try that business out. I think I'm going to take that passion project that I'm so passionate about, and I'm going to start monetizing that thing. I'm going to start creating a backup plan, an exit strategy, a plan B to what I'm currently doing now when I'm ready. So I hope this video inspires you. I hope that it connects you on another level to let you know that you are not in this alone. Not by any means at all. See, y'all get me over here getting emotional. So without further ado, here's the video and I hope you enjoy it. All right, here we go. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Tiffany Brown. I am a business coach and I help women develop their exit strategy / backup plan to their corporate 9-to-5 job so they can live life on their own terms and become their own boss. And it's funny, right? That whole spiel I just gave you, you're probably thinking like, what are you talking about? So let me share a story with you really quickly. Back in December 17th to be exact, I received an email around 5:30 in the evening. And the email specifically just said, hey, join a team conference call about our next steps and what we're going to be doing as a team. And honestly, in my gut, I felt that something wasn't right. And to give you a little backstory, I have been laid off from my job for a total of 4 times now. And it doesn't seem like it gets easier, each time it happens. The very first time was back in 2008 when the pharmaceutical industry had a huge layoff, like across the board, across the industry as a whole. I was about 3.5 years into that role. Now, mind you, this role was a role that I worked 2 years to even get in, right? To actually land a position. So it came as a really hard blow to me. And I'll share more about my story and next steps from that point on. But I've been laid off a total of 4 times. And when I received this email, I knew something was up. So of course I started texting my other team members, trying to find out like what's going on. And I realized throughout the conversation and then the people I was, touching base with is that me and one other teammate got a different time and we got a different date in regards to being on this conference call. So we got on the conference call on December the 18th. Now mind you, this is the week before Christmas. We get on the call and I automatically knew what to expect. I knew in that moment they were going to let us go. And sure enough, they did. And I'm going to share a clip with you of the actual recording. And I'm going to also share with you the process of me checking out and closing out my territory within this role. I don't even know what led me to record it. I think because a part of me had already checked out of my role. Although I was still showing up every day, I was doing all the things, I was checking all the boxes, I was trying to keep the company happy, it still wasn't enough. And one thing I can say, it wasn't based off my sales performance. It wasn't based on anything that I had did wrong, and I know that for a fact. But it was still the way that they approached it, right? It still seemed out of touch. After all this time, you've invested and you've made sure that you do all the right things and you check all the right boxes, and nobody thought that it was necessary or courteous enough to let you know, tap, tap, you might want to prepare for this. And it was fine, because luckily for me, remember I told you I got laid off from a job 3 years into it? At that moment, I decided for myself that I would never be put in that position again. I would never be the one that's hurled over crying and sobbing and trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do next. Because that to me is a weakness. It's hard for me already to show those types of emotions, but I broke down. And in that moment, I had to make a decision. I had to make a quick decision. Tiff, what are you going to do next? Why don't you have a backup plan? Why didn't you have an exit strategy? Why weren't you preparing for this, knowing that your industry is unstable? But I didn't. And in that moment, I realized for myself that never again will I work for anyone else and they dictate my future. They dictate my income. So with that being said, when in my last role, as most of you know, if you follow me on social media, I am a social media influencer. And that job requires like weekend hours. It did not affect my full-time job. It did not hinder anything that I was doing in my full-time job. It was just my backup plan. And that backup plan funded and cushioned me as time went on. So when this news came down, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't worried, because I learned the first time that says you better have a backup plan. And my backup plan the first time was makeup artistry. My sister Deanna Fierce had poured into me and said, girl, you're really good at this. You should really start this. And so I did. And I've won multiple awards for it. When I was servicing those brides and ladies in Louisiana at the time, it was great. I worked on the weekend. I loved it. And that's where I got the drive to one day I'm going to work for myself fully. And that day came sooner than I thought. Now, a little bit more backstory about this real quick, and then I'm gonna hop off because this is like, whoo, it's a bit much for me. But in that moment, I was having a conversation with my mom, and I talk to her all the time, and we talk about work things and all of that. And I was having a conversation with her, and I told her, I was like, hey, I don't know if I still want to be here. I'm not sure what I really want to do. I just know that I'm kind of building my brain and business on the side. And she said to me, well, Tiff, you're really good at this. You can leave now and be fine. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you're right. I could. I said, but I'm waiting for God to give me the confirmation that it's my time to go. And until that point, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to do all the right things. And little did I know that was going to come in the very same week. And what I learned about this process is that you're either going to be prepared or you're going to be unprepared. Because you see, the other girl that was on my team that got let go with me, it wasn't good. She was pregnant with her 4th unexpected child. And I think she's had the baby, I'm not sure. She was pregnant with her 4th unexpected child. Her husband was a firefighter, so his salary really wasn't what hers was, right? All of her children and family were on her insurance, and she lost it. Lost it. And I just felt my heart went out to her, because I never want another woman to be in that position of desperation because of somebody else. And that's why I have now moved forward in my truth and my passion and what I want to do. And that's help women like you show up every day to that 9 to 5, and you're still building that plan B. You're building that exit strategy. You're building that backup plan, because when the day comes, they give you that pink slip. You're going to be like, deuces, because exactly how I was, baby. I was prepared. And a part of me was sad and angry, right, at the approach. But the other part of me was relieved and happy, because it's like God told me, now is your time. Here is your confirmation. The question I have for you is, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to react? How are you going to handle yourself? And so I was upset. And I wasn't upset about the fact of being let go. I was upset at the fact that these people that we work for, that we spend all this time and energy on, and we're building relationships with over the years, they don't care. You are a number to them. And I realized that in this moment because the national sales director that I worked under, we know each other. We've been on jobs before together that she has led and overseen. And I admire her as a leader. I always have. But I had to send her an email. And I had to ask her. I was like, I got the news. Honestly, I was shocked. I was shocked I didn't hear from you as a leader, as a person I talk to all the time, the person I can text back and forth and we have that relationship. I was surprised I didn't hear from you. Now, I understand that HR has its parameters. I get that. I get that part. I understand that there's certain things you can and cannot do. But when the news was given to me and you knew the news was given to me, instead of you reaching out directly to me, to let me know why that process took place, or Tiffany, it's nothing against you. Tiffany, I can support you. Let me know what you need. You send the manager to relay your message to me. And I had to politely tell the manager, if she has something to say, she has my number. Because that's not the relationship that I remember us having. So I was in my feelings and I emailed her and I was like, I was really hurt at the fact that I didn't hear directly from you. And as out of the respect of a leader, for the leader that you are, I expected more from you. And here's the thing, is like, if I don't let you know, somebody else gonna let you know, but they might not be as nice as me. And so she did eventually reach out. She apologized. She understood where I was coming from, but I still felt some kind of way, right? So to me, it's not really about proving a point or proving anybody wrong or trying to show you what I can do. None of that. Because the proof is in the pudding, right? What are you going to do? What am I going to do to work for it? So I had invested in myself. I attended Build to Impact, the Impact Weekend, and I got really clear on my messaging. I got really clear on the women I wanted to serve like you. And I don't want you to be in a position to where if you're in your 9-to-5 job and you absolutely hate it, it's like pulling teeth to get you to show up every day. Sis, we need to get you an exit strategy. We need to give you a backup plan. We need to give you a plan B. We need to figure out what are your passions? What are the things that you're working on behind the scenes, the things that you love to do that you can see yourself doing every single day. Those are the things we need to learn how to monetize and make money off of. So when you are ready to chuck the deuces to that corporate job or the job that you're in, the role that you're in, you have already built your brand and business on the back end. And you can walk away with this confidence, with this security, the security that the job is not giving you, right? They're not giving you that job security. What is that anymore? There is no such thing. So you have to create your own security in this space. And I want to be there to help you do it. So I'll be offering coaching on that particular thing. I actually have where you can sign up for a 15-minute free discovery call with me and we can talk through it and see how I can help and coach you on it. Because I've been there. I've done it. I know what it feels like. So if you need help in that area or you want to start developing that thing that you're passionate about, that passion project, your brand or your business, then definitely sign up for a discovery call with me for 15 minutes free. And let's just see if we're a good fit, right? Let's just see if it's something that you want to move forward with. But that is my story. And I really want you to stay tuned. And I want you to watch the video that I'm going to have coming up next of the clips of me packing up my things, packing up my storage unit, signing my paperwork, closing things out, and having that sense of like, I'm about to do this and I'm about to do this for me. And now I have total control over my destiny, over my legacy, and where I'm trying to be in my business. And I want the same for you. But watch and listen to how we were told the news, how we were promised empty promises. Because then they're like, oh, we're going to try to get you on a contract, send your resume. Do you think I've heard from them people? I have not heard from them. Nobody's reached out. Nobody said, Tiff, how you doing? They don't care. Again, you're a number. And you're more than a number to me because I've been there. So watch the video. Let me know what you think. Share this with a friend that you think that may be going through some of the same struggles. Because we know COVID-19 hit a lot of us really hard. And now we are starting to step more into our own and into our own passions because of that pandemic, right? We're starting to see things that we really love to do. We're going back to things that we're passionate about and we're making money from it. We're doing great. But for those of us who still have to show up to work every day and we're just like, I'm just here to be here. We need to be building the brand. We need to be building that business. We need to be monetizing that. And I'm going to be able to help you do it. So watch the video, let me know your thoughts, share with a friend. Please like and subscribe to the channel because your support means the world to me. Again, thanks so much for tuning in and listening to my story that I'm finally sharing after all this time. And honestly, I don't know what I was waiting on. I don't know if there was a perfect time, if there ever be a perfect time. But I know I need to share my story because it's a part of me that people don't see. I'm never vulnerable like that. And I want to be more vulnerable and show up so I can help and serve the women that I have been put here to serve. And that's it. Thanks so much. And I guess we'll chat in the next video.
Yeah, so Tiffany, and thanks for getting on. For business reasons, decided to close 5 territories on team, and unfortunately, 2 of those territories are y'all's.
So keep your head up, and I've never had a company where I've had this happen to me do the things that we're trying to do for you as far as helping you look for other opportunities. So hang in there, look at the good in this, and we'll all come out stronger in the end. So my best to you. We're here for you if you need anything. And I think this will conclude the call.